How's it going? It's Friday. It's Friday, August 30th. We're getting close to the end of August. We're getting close to Labor Day coming early this year. We've got football. We've got baseball. We're going to do this in under 5 minutes. I promise you. Watch me press stop at 5 minutes, and you're going to have a bunch of information that you can use for today if you're watching, playing, betting, enjoying some games, whatever you want to do. We're going to talk college football first. So, what has happened? I'm even going to read text messages while I record. So, I've done some work on the college football file. I've added some more information here. Let's talk about yesterday real quick. What this does is this kind of orders our picks by this win algorithm percentage thing that the algorithm is doing, which is in here, which is figuring out in the game who's going to do what and applying a percentage to it. So today or yesterday, there was one thing that struck out to me, which is the money line, which is what kind of payout you're going to get on the game. This is a really good money line for a percentage, which is up here. And I've adjusted the win algorithm percentages a little bit to make them more realistic. Cincinnati generally has not as strong a schedule as UCLA, which is why you were able to get a good payout here. They did win pretty convincingly, I believe, 24-14 yesterday. Yeah, it's right here. I have the opponent score and the score. I brought that in. They covered the spread. So we have things where you can say, did the team of reference win? Did our team win? The answer is these teams won. Who didn't win? Just Florida International, which is only a 6.6 after I adjusted the win algorithm percentage. So they were at the bottom. And of course, we're only using last year's stats. Did team of reference cover the spread? These teams did. These teams did over here. Who didn't? Arizona State did not cover 25-5 barely, but they did win convincingly. That's why I hate spreads, because of stuff like this. I hate big spreads like that. Anyway, so we're going to talk about today. We're 2 minutes in. Still, obviously, don't throw your bankroll away. This is week one, and we're developing. But one thing that pops out here is Utah State over Wake Forest. This is a 23%. That's pretty high. In the old NFL file, I used to run these win algorithm percentage numbers. And if it was over 20-25%, that's a pretty strong pick. So last year, stat-wise, Utah State, the reason why this is and why you can get paid if this works out is this Utah State game. They won more games last year. They scored more points. They allowed fewer points. They had a better ranking, a standard ranking, but their strength of schedule was much easier. The teams they played were much easier than their opponent, who is Wake Forest. So that's why you can get a good line of them. So I guess the pick of the day is Utah State, according to this, except for Massachusetts and Rutgers, which is also an interesting pick. Now, why is it favoring UMass over Rutgers? Well, Rutgers has historically been a team that you'd think would win. When we look at that comparison, basically, Rutgers has a much stronger strength of schedule. That's what's going on there. And Rice, Purdue, Wisconsin, Utah State, Army, Nevada, Massachusetts there. So Massachusetts also allows a lot more points per game, and I'm not weighting that enough. So if we change that around a little bit, change the ranking, we go 20s all around, UMass is actually at a 0%. So the only reason why, we really have to understand what's going to happen. This is going to be a lot of developing going on in this file. I kind of say that this is a throwaway luck game. They have a chance to win, but they had a much easier schedule, so Rutgers is probably going to beat them, actually, and they could beat them by a lot. So you got to be careful the spread here. I understand that this thing is very, very young. All right, one more minute. Let's do baseball. Baseball for the day says only lineups in are the early game. We got three underdogs down here, Oakland, Pittsburgh, and San Diego. So note that. And in the last 45 seconds, let's talk about the early game, which is Milwaukee and the Cubs. It says go with the Cubs. Why? Because Quintana's pretty strong, wins 40% of his games. Chase Anderson's a pretty good pitcher, though. A lot of runs it's predicting. I don't know what the wind's like in Wrigley. You got to check that out. The Milwaukee bullpen is not so nice. The lineup is a little bit in favor of the Cubs, so a Cubs team run over unless the wind is blowing in there. But it likes the Cubs at minus 140. It says pay it. And I guess we're going to be out, but you want to see how much everything's been winning in the last week? We won almost 70% of our games. We have just been annihilating baseball. So Subscribe, and you will get picks before the games, and we're out.